Alright, what is up, guys? Today's video, we're going to be going over how to actually get better at Rocket League. So I see a lot of these videos on the internet of pro players, they come out here and they're trying to give advice to the normal people. But they've been top 100 since the game released, so they don't really know what it's like to be gold, to be plat, to be diamond. But I just recently hit a new peak rank. I got GC2. If you're higher ranked than this, you're probably not going to get much from this video. I'm the bottom of the barrel GC2, 1575. That's the lowest MMR you can be while being in GC2, but hey, I'm there. And I was champ 3, I want to say like a year ago. So I know what it's like to be champ, to be diamond, to be plat. And I just wanted to help you guys, get out of those hard select ranks, get better at the game, have some fun. So yeah. So the first tip I have for you guys, and I'm gonna be honest, is probably the most important tip I have for this whole video. So you could just watch this next segment and skip the rest of the video, and you'd probably still get a lot out of this. But it's gonna be to train one thing at a time, especially if you're lower rank and you don't really know a lot. You just want to get good at one specific thing each week or each month. You want to get good at one specific thing and then move on to the next. Obviously, when you're warming up for ranked, when you're about to hop into ranked, you're just kind of like hitting the ball around, moving around the field. But if you're actually training, so for like 15-30 minutes a day, you're gonna want to just spam one specific mechanic or review one specific game sense thing that you've been struggling with until you got it down. So let's say, this week I've been trying to get better at my flicks. So for like 15-30 minutes a day, it's not a lot. I mean, like if you're trying to go pro, you might need like 2 hours a day, but I'm just trying to rank up. But yeah, so I'll sit here for like 30 minutes, get the ball on my hood, and just flick the ball at the net. It doesn't have to be perfect, like right there. Like I just messed it up completely. That was pretty bad, but yeah, it's just the reps that count, Get the ball in your hood, flick the ball. If you're trying to learn how to air dribble, just air dribble it from different spots on the field. Back here, let's say I'm going for an air dribble, and then I just, I kind of carry the ball around in the air. It doesn't have to be perfect. It literally just has to be a rep. What you're practicing is a lot more important than how you're practicing it, in my opinion. That might be wrong. I'm just a GC2, but I think as long as you're getting the reps in for the mechanic you're trying to learn, you're doing something right. You don't have to worry too much about, oh, how am I setting up the flick? How am I gonna flick it? Where does it need to be on my head? Just try it. Get a feel for it. Get a feel for your car. Go on both sides. Flick both directions. Like that. It literally doesn't have to be perfect. You just hop in free play, practice your mechanic 15-30 minutes after you warm up. Once you learn it, once you master it, you should be able to look back and see a point in time where you actually got the mechanic down. So let's say I'm flicking it wrong. So I'm flicking it like this, and it's not going anywhere. And eventually I realize that if I get the ball farther to the front of my hood, if I get the ball farther to the front of my hood and then flick it from there, I get a lot more power. Oh my god, it's terrible. Like that. And now I realize that to get a good flick, I need the ball closer to the front of my hood and sort of off at an angle if I'm trying to go for a 45 flick, or if I'm trying to musty, You just pick up on these little details when you just spam out reps of the mechanic that you're trying to learn. You get a feel for it. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling here, but my next piece of advice for you guys is, play a lot of ranked. I would not recommend hopping straight into casual, just kind of vibing. It's fun every once in a while, especially if you're playing with your IRL friends. You're just trying to vibe out, go for clips. But if you're really trying to get better at the game, you're gonna want to hop over here into ranked. My go-to playlist is 2s. I have been dropping my rank in 1s recently. I haven't been playing enough, but I would say 1s or 2s will get you the most bang for your buck. You're gonna get better at game sense. You're gonna get better at carrying. You're gonna get better mechanics. Everything. I think I think those two players. I mean, you can solo queue threes. It's kind of brutal. Like, I never solo queue threes personally. That's for when I'm playing with my friends. But you can. You're not gonna get as much time on the ball. It's gonna be not as fun. But also another thing, when you play ranked, you should be trying to win. I know it's kind of like corny, but you shouldn't be just playing, you know, just to play. Like, you should be thinking about what you're doing, trying to win the games. If you make a mistake, realize what you did, and you know, don't dwell on the mistake, but definitely realize you made it. Think about what you can do better next time, and then just improve from there. Don't like overthink it, obviously, because if you're not having any fun, you're not gonna play the game at all. You're not gonna want to play. But do try to win. If you're not trying to win, if you're not playing with intent, you're not gonna get a lot better. If you just mindlessly hop in with some like YouTube on in the background, like you're not gonna make a lot of progress. I mean, I definitely do it. I'll sit in free play for like 3 hours with just like a YouTube video playing, and I won't really get much better in those 3 hours. I'll kind of just be messing around. It's kind of a waste of time. You got to play with the intent to get better. All right, for my third piece of advice, this is really gonna help you with your mindset. I know a lot of people will hop into rank 2s, right? I do this too, don't worry. You hop into rank 2s, your teammate is kind of selling, or it feels like they're selling, and you start blaming them. You start blaming them in chat. You start saying what a save, typing. It's all just a waste of time. Never blame your teammates in ranked. I don't care if it is your teammate's fault. Blaming your teammates in ranked does nothing good. You could be down 2 goals, and you know your teammate missed the kickoff twice. You don't want to start talking shit to your teammate right there, because then your teammate's gonna start playing worse. You're gonna start playing worse because you're too focused on trash talking your teammate, and the game's just kind of gonna be over from there. But if you just like, you know, say no problem, they'll probably apologize. You say no problem, you just go about your game. You might have a chance of winning. And I mean, even if you do lose and it's completely your teammate's fault, it doesn't really matter. You know, in the next 5 minutes, you gain back that MMR. You know? It doesn't really matter as much as you think it does. So yeah, just blaming your teammates in general is not going to do you any good. You got to be nice to your teammates if you want to win consistently. Once you start blaming your teammates, you're going to get tilted. You're going to lose your next game, and then the next game after that, and you're just going to keep blaming your teammates. You're never going to improve yourself. You should be able to play with bad teammates and still win. You just got to know how to play with them. Play around their bad plays, you know. Be ready to save the ball when they miss or whatever. It's not all your teammates' fault. But that's not the most important piece of advice, so we're just going to move on. So for my next piece of advice, is probably my most important piece of advice game sense wise. My first tip was the most important for your mechanics, you know, practicing one thing at a time. But this one's going to be the most important thing I could say for your game sense. So it's going to be to watch pro players and think about what they're doing. I know a lot of people that they watch pro players because they know it's good for their game sense, but they kind of just like throw it on in the background. They don't really pay attention. They don't think about like what the pros are doing. But the best way you can improve from watching pros is by watching the play, seeing like where all the enemies are, like, and then what the pro does based off of what's happening in the play, and then thinking about that in the next play. So, you know, pause the game, see where the ball is, try to guess like what would I do in this situation, and then see what the pro does and see how those two decisions differ and why they differ. You don't just watch the pro gameplay and get better. You need to actually think about what's going on, what decisions are being made, what decision would I make, and why I would make that decision, and then why the pro made that decision, what the outcome of that was. But yeah, so don't just mindlessly watch pro gameplay expecting to get better. You're gonna need to actually think about what plays are happening, how they're taking advantage of like the opposing team's overcommits, like all that stuff. You're gonna need to think about all that. I personally I wouldn't watch somebody who's like very reliant on their mechanics. So like Zen, because like if we're being realistic, nobody's as good as Zen. He's probably the best player in the world. Watching him is not going to do you very good because he kind of just gets like the best first touch ever and then just dunks on their team with 3 flip resets. The person I watch the most is Squishy, because he's like he really walks you through like all the decisions he's making, how he's playing around bad teammates, and he doesn't just play like threes. So if you watch like RLCS, it's mainly threes gameplay, and that the decision making in threes is sort of different than twos and ones. I mean, like the basic principles still apply, but it's nice to watch like a very good player play 2v2 or 1v1. So that's what I watch Squishy for. It's also good to watch a pro player that you actually enjoy watching. You know, you like their personality. So I like Reddles, his personality. I like his vibe, and he's very good at the game. So I watch him. If you're watching somebody you don't like at all, some like, I don't know, maybe you don't even speak their language, so you don't know what's going on, you're not going to really enjoy watching that gameplay. You're not going to be consistent with it. Consistency is probably the most important part out of any of this. If you can take away one thing from this video, it'd be consistency. You know, do your 15 minutes of that one mechanic each day. Watch pro gameplay, you know, maybe 1 video a day, 10 minutes a day. Just as long as it's something you're doing over time, you're going to improve pretty consistently. So for my next piece of advice, it's going to be to take breaks if you're losing. What I needed to do to get into this rank, so I had never been in a GC2 and I really wanted to hit it. So what I would do is I'd play ranked 2s, solo queue until I lost. And if I lost, I would just hop back in free play for 5 minutes, take a walk around my house, get a drink of water, reset. You know, maybe half an hour later, I go back, play some more ranked. If I kept losing, I was having a bad day, I wasn't playing very good, I was making bad decisions, I might take a couple hours away, go to the gym, you know, do something, get your mind off of it. You don't always need to be playing. If you're having a bad time playing, you know, you're tilting, you're blaming your teammates, you're making bad decisions, your mechanics don't feel good, just take a break. It's not that big of a deal. Go play a different game. Walk around the house, you know. Get some activity. I mean, go outside. That's pretty important for Rocket League players. You know? Go touch grass, go for a walk, go swimming. Just do something else. There's no point playing a game, you know, just to get mad at it and not have any fun. You know, lose all the work you put in and just like go on like a 5-game losing streak and now your day's ruined. You know, that's definitely not the way that you stay consistent with this game. You want to play this game and you want to have fun. You don't want to get tilted and not have any fun at all, lose your rank, ruin your day. It's just like you're not going to be consistent. You're not going to want to get back on the game. I do think that you shouldn't just like get off for the whole day if you lose one game, because then you're not going to be getting enough practice in. Anyways, for my next piece of advice, it's going to be care more about improving at the game than about your rank. Like, yeah, I know we all want to hit that next rank, especially if you're like champ 3, you really want to hit GC, get that GC title. Trust me, it's not, you're going to hit GC eventually as long as you're just improving. And improving at the game is definitely, it feels more satisfying than ranking up. Because when you genuinely improve at the game and you rank up because of that, not just because, you know, you got carried to your next rank, you know, or you didn't earn it. Like, sure, that rank looks good. Like, I love opening this and looking at this. I haven't queued rank 2s in a while just because I don't want to lose that. But if you genuinely improve at the game, you're gonna rank up regardless. So it just comes naturally. Part of the improvement process is just queue ranked, you know, get better at playing with teammates, get better at ranked, and then you'll rank up through those games. You don't have to constantly be worrying about, oh, what rank am I? I would say don't throw away your rank. Don't like not try. You still want to win. You still want to rank up, but think more about how much you're improving and be able to quantify it as well. You want to be able to quantify how much you're improving. So if I'm trying to learn how to flick, I might like look at how fast the flick is and make sure that's going up week to week. You know, to an extent, but you get the idea. You wanna be able to look back and see that you've improved and that you can tell you've improved. Save replays. If you're trying to get better decision making, save your replays week to week. Save like maybe watch one of them each week, and just make sure that your decision making has gotten better. You haven't like overcommitted more, or made a bad challenge or challenge at the wrong time. All that stuff is important. But yeah, bottom line, care more about improving than ranking up. And then for my last piece of advice, and this might be the most important piece of advice you hear, I saved it for the end, but it's to actually just have fun with the game. If you're not having fun with this game, if you're not having fun grinding, you know, getting better at the game, you're not gonna stick with it. You're just gonna play it for like 2 weeks, drop the game, and then not touch it again for another like 3 months. That's not how you get better. That's not how you rank up. You want to be having fun with the game. Play with your friends, you know? Yeah, if you're not enjoying the game, maybe take a day away. Take 2 days away. Take a break, you know? It's not that deep. If you're constantly getting on the game and you're just pissed off at like just the fact that you lost the 100 MMR in the past week, just take a couple days away. Just take a break, take a breather. It's not that deep. It's not that important. It's just a game. It's a game about cars playing soccer. If you're seriously getting that mad about it and it's ruining your mental health, just take a little break. Come back to it when you feel excited to play. I would advise against taking like 5 months off, because then you'll come back and you'll just be kind of lose a lot of your progress that you made. But take a couple days away. I don't think you should be stressing too hard. You know, you come home from work and now you're stressed about Rocket League. It's like, no, just try to have fun with the game. It's just a game. You want to use it to relax. You want to have fun with it. You want to get better. If you're not having fun with it, you're not going to get better. You're not going to be consistent. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of all over the place. I didn't really have like a structure or like a script or anything when I was going into it. I just hopped on free play, so I would talk to you guys for a bit. I'm not too good at public speaking. This is my first ever time recording YouTube video, so I know it's gonna be kind of awkward. It's not gonna have a lot of structure, but I just want to throw myself out there because this has been a dream of mine for a while. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.